Welcome to today's Lost Souls, where we bring you the most impactful and unforgettable stories from around the world. Today, we remember the lives of remarkable individuals whose legacies continue to inspire and resonate. From iconic musicians to trailblazing activists, join us as we celebrate their extraordinary contributions and bid farewell to those who have left an indelible mark on our lives. Stay tuned for a journey through their incredible stories.
Lar Park Lincoln. Lar Park Lincoln, the beloved actress best known for her memorable role as Tina Shepard in Friday the 13th. Part 7, The New Blood, has passed away at the age of 62. Her portrayal of the telekinetic teen made her a fan favorite in horror circles and solidified her place in cult cinema history. Her passing has left the entertainment world in mourning, as tributes pour in for a woman who was not just a talented performer, but also a courageous survivor and inspiring mentor. Born Cynthia Cheryl LaVia on May 27, 1961, in Dallas, Texas, Lar's passion for acting blossomed early. She studied at the University of North Texas before beginning her career in television, quickly landing roles in series such as Knots Landing and Hunter. But it was her 1988 performance in Friday the 13th, Part 7 that turned her into an icon. Her character's emotional depth and psychic strength brought a new dimension to the franchise, earning her a loyal fan base that spanned generations. While Hollywood can often be a harsh place, Lar carved out a space for herself not just through acting, but through resilience. She faced immense personal tragedy, including the loss of her husband to cancer and her own battles with health issues, including surviving breast cancer. Yet, through it all, she remained fiercely optimistic and dedicated to helping others. In interviews, she often spoke about turning pain into purpose and using her experiences to lift others up. In her later years, Lar devoted much of her energy to mentoring young actors. She opened an acting studio in Texas where she trained aspiring performers, teaching them not only the craft, but also the importance of perseverance and self-belief. Her students often described her as warm, honest, and deeply passionate about her work. Beyond her career, Lar was a mother, a friend, and a fierce advocate for women's health and self-empowerment. She authored a book titled Get Started, Not Scammed, aiming to protect and educate aspiring actors from the darker corners of the industry. Her legacy is not only preserved in her memorable performances, but also in the lives she touched behind the scenes. Lar Park Lincoln leaves behind a legacy of strength, kindness, and determination. She may be gone, but her spirit, her talent, and her fight live on in the hearts of her fans and the many lives she helped shape. Mimi Hines, the legendary singer, comedian, and Broadway actress known for her powerhouse vocals and sparkling wit, has passed away at the age of 90. A trailblazer in the world of entertainment, Mimi's talent crossed genres and generations, leaving behind a rich legacy that shaped the landscape of musical theater and live performance. Her passing marks the end of a truly golden chapter in American stage history. Born on July 17, 1933, in Vancouver, British Columbia, Mimi began her career in the most classic way, in nightclubs and variety shows where her comedic timing and vocal range quickly set her apart. She rose to national fame in the 1950s and 60s, often performing alongside her then-husband, comedian Phil Ford. Together, they became a beloved duo on television shows such as The Tonight Show and The Ed Sullivan Show, bringing laughter and song into millions of homes. But Mimi's career reached soaring new heights when she stepped into the role of Fanny Brice in the Broadway production of Funny Girl, replacing Barbra Streisand. It was no easy task. Streisand had made the role iconic, but Mimi brought her own flavor to the character, bold, funny, and endearingly human. Critics and audiences alike were won over by her magnetic stage presence and vocal strength, and she went on to perform the role for 18 months, proving she was a Broadway star in her own right. Mimi's influence didn't stop there. She went on to star in numerous musicals and stage productions, including Grease, Hello, Dolly, and Sugar Babies. And she remained active on the cabaret circuit for decades. Her voice, smooth and soaring, even into her later years, was a reminder of a classic era of performance that valued heart, humor, and showmanship. But behind the curtain, Mimi was also known for her warmth, humility, and boundless support of younger performers. She mentored countless singers and actors, always encouraging them to embrace their individuality and stay grounded in their craft. In a world that often demands conformity, Mimi celebrated uniqueness. Her passing is a loss felt deeply by the theatrical community and by fans who still cherish the recordings, performances, and moments she gave to the world. Mimi Hines was more than a star. She was a force of joy, a voice of resilience, and a shining example of the magic that happens when talent meets heart. Patty Maloney. Patty Maloney, the beloved actress best known for her work in science fiction and fantasy television, has passed away at the age of 88. Her petite stature, standing at just 3 feet 11 inches, never limited her enormous talent, vibrant personality, or the impact she had on audiences around the world. From children's programming to cult classic films, Patty carved out a unique space in Hollywood that defied expectations and inspired countless fans and fellow actors. Born on March 17, 1936 in Perkinsville, New York, Patty faced the challenges of dwarfism in a time when few roles were written for people who looked like her, but she never let that stop her. From a young age, she possessed a deep love for performing. Whether it was dancing, acting, or making people laugh, Patty had a natural gift for bringing joy to others. Her big break came in the 1970s when she began landing roles in television shows that allowed her to shine. One of her most memorable performances came as the adorable robot Twiki in Buck Rogers in the 25th Century. Though the voice was dubbed by another actor, Patty's expressive movements and physical performance made Twiki a fan-favorite character, quirky, loyal, and full of charm. She brought life to a metallic shell and gave it soul, something only a performer of her caliber could do. Patty's filmography stretched far beyond science fiction. She appeared in episodes of Star Trek, Voyager, The Banana Splits Adventure Hour, and even played a member of the mischievous Sleestak species in Land of the Lost. She also appeared in Ernest Saves Christmas and lent her talents to commercials and variety shows. Her adaptability made her a go-to performer for roles that required heart, humor, and a special spark. What made Patty so special was not just her talent, but her attitude. In an industry that often overlooked actors who didn't fit the mold, she stood proud, never allowing herself to be defined by limitations. She once said that all she ever wanted to do was make people smile, and she did, in spades. Off-screen, Patty was known for her kindness, her sharp wit, and her dedication to animal rights. She was an avid advocate for the fair treatment of animals and often used her platform to speak out on their behalf. Friends and colleagues remember her as a gentle soul who radiated positivity, even in the face of life's challenges. Patty Maloney's legacy lives on in the characters she portrayed and the hearts she touched. She was small in stature, but giant in spirit, a reminder to all of us that greatness comes in every shape and size. Mitzi Gaynor, the radiant star of Hollywood's golden era, who dazzled audiences with her voice, dance, and charisma, passed away at the age of 92. A true triple-threat entertainer, Mitzi embodied the glamour, elegance, and energy of classic showbiz, leaving behind a legacy that continues to sparkle across generations. Born as Francesca Marlene de Chagny von Gerber on September 4, 1931, in Chicago, Mitzi's early life was shaped by music and movement. Her Hungarian-American roots gave her a rich cultural identity, and by her teenage years, she was already performing with the Los Angeles Civic Light Opera. It was clear to anyone who saw her on stage that she wasn't just performing, she was living the art. Her big Hollywood break came in the 1950s when she signed a contract with 20th Century Fox. She starred in a string of popular musicals, including There's No Business Like Show Business, alongside Marilyn Monroe and Less Girls with Gene Kelly. But it was her role as Ensign Nellie Forbush in the 1958 film adaptation of Rodgers and Hammerstein's South Pacific that sealed her place in cinematic history. Her bright eyes, radiant smile, and effervescent charm made her unforgettable. Mitzi was more than just a movie star. She became a television phenomenon in the 1960s and 70s with her Emmy-nominated variety specials, which showcased her dazzling costume changes, precise choreography, and sense of humor. Each performance was a glittering explosion of sequins, song, and show-stopping energy. She reinvented the art of the televised variety show, elevating it to something grand and theatrical. Beyond the glitz, Mitzi Gaynor was a professional to her core. Known for her tireless work ethic and perfectionism, she rehearsed for hours, always pushing to deliver the best possible performance. She often joked about being a gypsy at heart, always chasing the next stage, the next spotlight. In her personal life, Mitzi was deeply devoted to her husband, Jack Bean, a talent agent and producer who managed her career for decades. Their bond was one of showbiz's quieter love stories, steadfast, supportive, and private. Though they never had children, Mitzi was seen as a mentor and inspiration to countless young performers. Even in her later years, Mitzi never truly left the stage. She continued to perform her one-woman show well into her 80s, proving that true entertainers never fade. They simply keep the spotlight burning a little longer. Mitzi Gaynor leaves behind not just a body of work, but a vibrant spirit that embodied the magic of musical theater and classic Hollywood. She reminded us all that joy, grace, and passion are timeless, and that when you live life as a performance, every moment can be a standing ovation. Gavin Creel. Gavin Creel, the Tony Award-winning Broadway star whose voice could stir souls and whose heart lifted everyone around him, has passed away at the age of 48. His sudden departure has left the theater world in deep mourning, a world he helped illuminate with grace, joy, and unparalleled talent. Born in Findlay, Ohio, Gavin's journey to the stage began like so many others, in a small-town high school auditorium, beneath the glow of stage lights, where he first discovered the magic of performance. But even then, there was something extraordinary about him, something undeniable in the way he connected with every role, every lyric, and every audience. After graduating from the University of Michigan's esteemed musical theater program, Gavin's star began to rise swiftly. His Broadway debut in Thoroughly Modern Millie earned him instant acclaim and his first Tony nomination. He brought a freshness to the stage, a blend of classical elegance and modern charm that was both magnetic and deeply human. Gavin's performances in productions like Hair, Hello, Dolly, and Into the Woods further solidified his place as one of the great musical theater talents of his generation. In 2017, he finally took home the Tony Award for Best Featured Actor in a musical for his role as Cornelius Hackle in Hello, Dolly, a performance full of heart, humor, and that unmistakable Creel charisma. But Gavin was more than just a voice and a performer. He was a fierce advocate, a kind soul, and a passionate voice for change. Openly gay and proudly outspoken, he used his platform to fight for LGBTQ+ rights, arts education, and social justice. He believed in theater not just as entertainment, but as a powerful tool for healing and transformation. Behind the curtain, Gavin was known for his infectious laugh, his generosity, and his quiet acts of kindness. He was the kind of person who remembered your birthday, who stayed late to help a new cast member rehearse, who made every crew member feel just as important as the stars on stage. In recent years, Gavin expanded his work into songwriting and solo performances, sharing his original music with a new and growing audience. His lyrics were deeply personal, reflective, honest, and always full of hope. The loss of Gavin Creel is a wound felt across the entire theater community. Yet, in his absence, his legacy lives on, in the shows he transformed, in the causes he championed, and in every person who ever sat in a darkened theater and felt lifted by his light.
Damian Stone. Damian Stone, a Moldovan-born adult film actor and professional bodybuilder, passed away at the young age of 32 on March 11, 2025, due to complications from an enlarged heart. His sudden death shocked both the fitness and adult entertainment communities, leaving behind a legacy of ambition, transformation, and authenticity. Born in Moldova, Damian rose to fame in the adult film industry around 2017. With his chiseled physique, confidence, and magnetic presence on camera, he quickly became a well-known name in the gay, bisexual, and transgender film circuits. He worked with major studios such as Raging Stallion and MEN.com and earned a nomination for Hottest Newcomer at the GayVN Awards in 2018. Behind the scenes, colleagues described him as professional, humorous, and full of life. But Damian was never content staying in one lane. In 2020, he made a significant shift, stepping away from adult films to pursue his passion for bodybuilding. His hard work paid off, as he won multiple regional competitions and proudly became a 3-time bodybuilding champion. His social media often showcased his dedication to fitness, where he inspired thousands of fans with workout routines, motivational quotes, and glimpses of his disciplined lifestyle. Beyond bodybuilding, Damian was also deeply entrepreneurial. He became a real estate investor, day trader, and the founder of several companies, including Maverick Crypto Holdings and Omega Labs. His business ventures reflected his curious mind and hunger for growth. He wasn't just a performer, he was a thinker, a builder, and a dreamer. In 2025, Damien had begun discussing a return to the adult film industry, not out of necessity, but out of love for the craft and connection with fans. He had recently finished filming a horror-themed adult movie titled It's Coming and was exploring new opportunities. Friends and directors who worked with him spoke highly of his spirit and versatility. Sadly, just as he was planning a new chapter, his journey ended abruptly. His death due to an enlarged heart left many stunned. It was a tragic reminder of how quickly life can change. Damien Stone lived boldly, through his art, his body, and his ambitions. His story is one of transformation, resilience, and the pursuit of authenticity. He will be remembered not just for what he did, but how he did it, with heart, humor, and strength. Shelley Gibson. The world of television and theater is mourning the loss of Shelley Gibson, the beloved actress who passed away at the age of 71. Known for her unforgettable presence on both the small screen and stage, Shelley carved out a legacy defined by emotional depth, unwavering dedication, and a charisma that lit up every scene she touched. Her passing leaves behind a silence in the hearts of many who cherished her talent, her humanity, and her enduring grace. Born in New York City, Shelley grew up with a fascination for the performing arts. As a child, she was drawn to classic films and Broadway plays, often mimicking performances in front of her mirror. Encouraged by her mother, a former ballet dancer, Shelley enrolled in acting classes early in life. Her passion soon transformed into purpose, and after graduating from NYU's Tisch School of the Arts, she stepped into the acting world with the kind of fire only true dreamers possess. Her breakout role came in the early 1980s with the popular TV series Saint Elsewhere, where she played a resilient nurse navigating the complex emotional terrain of a busy hospital. Audiences were immediately drawn to her sincerity and realism, and critics praised her for bringing layered humanity to her character. It wasn't long before Shelley became a familiar face on American television, landing recurring roles in All My Children, Dust to Malibu, and The Guiding Light. But her reach wasn't limited to just the screen. Shelley was a true theater lover at heart. Her performances in off-Broadway productions earned her acclaim, especially for her role as Blanche DuBois in A Streetcar Named Desire, which many consider her finest performance. Her ability to balance vulnerability and strength left audiences breathless night after night. Off-camera, Shelley was known for her quiet generosity. She worked closely with several acting schools and community theater programs, mentoring young actors who were just beginning their journeys. She often told them, "The truest performance is the one that makes you forget you're performing." Her students remember her not just as a mentor, but as someone who listened, supported, and never gave up on anyone. Shelley faced health challenges in her later years with the same grace she brought to her characters. She continued to perform in smaller productions and participate in panels and interviews about the evolution of television acting, always advocating for deeper storytelling and more honest female roles in media. Her passing marks the end of an era. Yet her legacy lives on in the countless lives she touched, through her work, her words, and her warmth. The characters she brought to life will continue to inspire, and her passion for the craft will echo in the dreams of every young actor who dares to believe.
Dick Barnett. Dick Barnett, the trailblazing NBA champion and civil rights advocate, passed away at the age of 88. A legend both on and off the basketball court, Barnett's life was defined by resilience, achievement, and the relentless pursuit of justice and education. His powerful legacy will be remembered not only in the sports world, but also in classrooms, communities, and history books. Born in Gary, Indiana, in 1936, Dick Barnett grew up in a time of intense racial segregation and societal limitations for African Americans. Yet, from a young age, he displayed a tenacity that would come to define his career. He became a basketball star at Tennessee A&I College, now Tennessee State University, where he led the team to 3 consecutive national championships in the late 1950s. It was during this time that Barnett developed his signature jump shot, characterized by an unusual but effective backward kick that confused defenders and thrilled fans. Barnett's professional career began in 1959 when he was selected by the Syracuse Nationals in the NBA draft. He later played for the Los Angeles Lakers before joining the New York Knicks, where he would make his biggest mark. He was a crucial part of the Knicks' legendary championship teams in 1970 and 1973. His scoring ability, defensive prowess, and leadership helped elevate the team to greatness. Fans will forever remember his famous phrase, "Fall back, baby," which he shouted as he launched his trademark jumpers. But Dick Barnett's story extended far beyond basketball. He was a passionate advocate for education. While still playing professionally, he pursued advanced degrees, eventually earning a PhD in education from Fordham University. After retiring from the NBA, he dedicated his life to teaching and mentoring. As a professor at Medgar Evers College in Brooklyn, he inspired countless students, emphasizing the importance of discipline, knowledge, and community upliftment. Barnett also became an outspoken civil rights advocate, working to ensure that the contributions of historically Black colleges and their athletes received the recognition they deserved. His efforts culminated in the documentary project, The Dream Whisperer, which he championed to shine a light on the struggles and victories of Black athletes from HBCUs during segregation. Throughout his life, Barnett never stopped fighting for what he believed in. Whether on the court with a basketball in hand or in a classroom with a book, he moved with purpose, passion, and unwavering integrity. His life was a testament to the power of education, the resilience of the human spirit, and the importance of breaking down barriers. Dick Barnett's passing is a profound loss, but his voice, his values, and his victories will echo through generations. He showed the world that you could be a champion in sports and in life, and that the pursuit of greatness never truly ends.
John Maloney. John Maloney, born on August 26, 1982, in Chicago, Illinois, has carved a unique niche in the world of comedy with his sharp wit, distinctive storytelling, and candid reflections on personal struggles. His journey from a writer on Saturday Night Live to a celebrated stand-up comedian and actor is a testament to his talent and resilience. Maloney's early career was marked by his tenure at Saturday Night Live, where he contributed to numerous sketches and co-created the beloved character Stefan with Bill Hader. His work on the show earned him critical acclaim and set the stage for his subsequent success in stand-up comedy. His stand-up specials, including New in Town, The Comeback Kid, and the Emmy-winning Kid Gorgeous at Radio City, showcase his ability to blend observational humor with personal anecdotes. These performances have solidified his reputation as one of the most insightful and relatable comedians of his generation. In recent years, Maloney has been open about his struggles with addiction and his journey toward sobriety. His 2023 Netflix special, Baby J, delves into these experiences with honesty and humor, offering audiences a glimpse into his personal challenges and growth. This candid approach has resonated with fans and critics alike, highlighting his capacity for vulnerability and self-reflection. Beyond stand-up, Maloney has expanded his creative endeavors. He launched the Netflix talk show Everybody's Live with John Maloney, which features a mix of celebrity interviews, comedic sketches, and discussions on various topics. The show has been praised for its innovative format and Maloney's engaging hosting style. In 2025, Maloney announced his Mr. Whatever tour, set to run from June through December across North America. The tour features a lineup of guest comedians, including Jon Stewart, Pete Davidson, and Martin Short, promising a dynamic and entertaining experience for audiences. John Maloney announces Mr. Whatever tour. On a personal note, Maloney's life has seen significant changes. After finalizing his divorce from Anna Marie Tendler in 2022, he began a relationship with actress Olivia Munn. The couple welcomed their son, Malcolm, in November 2021, and their daughter, May June, via gestational surrogate in 2024. They married in July 2024 in New York, marking a new chapter in Maloney's life as a husband and father. John Maloney's journey is one of continuous evolution, marked by professional achievements and personal growth. His ability to confront challenges with humor and authenticity has endeared him to audiences worldwide, solidifying his place as a prominent figure in contemporary comedy. Joe Harris. Joe Harris, the brilliant animator, illustrator, and creative mind behind some of the most beloved cartoon characters of the 20th century, passed away at the age of 91. Best known as the co-creator of the iconic Underdog, Joe Harris was more than just an artist. he was a storyteller who shaped childhoods and inspired generations through whimsical worlds and heroic tales. Born in Jersey City, New Jersey, in 1928, Harris showed an early talent for drawing and storytelling. After serving in the military, he pursued a career in art and advertising, eventually landing a job at the famed advertising agency Dancer Fitzgerald Sample. It was there that he would begin laying the groundwork for some of his most memorable creations. But it wasn't until he joined Total Television, an animation studio formed in the early 1960s, that his creative genius truly took flight. Joe Harris co-created Underdog, the humble, rhyming superhero in a cape and floppy ears who always came to the rescue with the catchphrase, "There's no need to fear, Underdog is here." The character wasn't just an animated dog, he was a symbol of kindness, determination, and justice. With Underdog, Harris gave children a hero they could root for, one who didn't need to be perfect to do great things. In addition to Underdog, Harris helped develop a number of other beloved cartoon characters, including King Leonardo, Tennessee Tuxedo, and the Go-Go Gophers. His creations brought color and humor into millions of living rooms during the golden age of Saturday morning cartoons. But behind the laughs and slapstick, there was always a deeper message about standing up for what's right, believing in yourself, and never giving up, hallmarks of Harris's storytelling style. Beyond animation, Joe Harris was a gifted illustrator in the advertising world. One of his most famous creations outside of television was the Trix cereal rabbit for General Mills. That energetic, unlucky rabbit who was always trying to get his hands on Trix. That was Harris's work, another piece of American pop culture born from his pencil and imagination. Despite his success, Harris remained grounded and humble. He often said that his biggest reward was knowing he brought smiles to people's faces. In interviews, he credited teamwork and collaboration, insisting that great stories come from shared passion and purpose. In his later years, Joe enjoyed mentoring young artists and remained connected to the animation community. He was a walking library of artistic wisdom, always generous with advice and encouragement. He believed in the power of imagination, and that creativity could change the world, one drawing at a time. Joe Harris leaves behind a legacy that stretches far beyond animation cells and television screens. His characters still live in the hearts of those who grew up watching them, and his vision continues to influence modern animators and storytellers. He may be gone, but the spirit of Underdog, and all he stood for, remains, soaring through the skies of memory and imagination.
Jiggly Caliente, Bianca Castro. Jiggly Caliente, born Bianca Castro, passed away at the age of 42, leaving behind a powerful legacy in the world of entertainment, LGBTQ+ advocacy, and representation. A beloved drag performer, actress, singer, and trans rights activist, Jiggly was a vibrant force who broke barriers and opened doors for countless others in the queer and trans communities. Born in the Philippines and raised in New York, Bianca Castro faced the complexities of identity at a young age, navigating life as a Filipino immigrant, a queer person, and later as a transgender woman in a society that often failed to understand or accept such identities. But instead of letting that define her limits, she turned her life into a celebration of authenticity, creativity, and empowerment. Jiggly rose to national prominence as a contestant on Season 4 of RuPaul's Drag Race in 2012. Her vibrant personality, emotional vulnerability, and raw passion made her an instant fan favorite. She wasn't the most polished queen when she first stepped into the workroom, but her heart, humor, and sincerity captured the audience's attention. She would later return for RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars Season 6, showing the world how much she had grown, not just in her performance, but in her identity as a trans woman living proudly in her truth. Off the stage, Jiggly Caliente became an outspoken advocate for trans rights and LGBTQ+ inclusion. Her journey inspired many to explore their own identities and embrace their true selves. She openly shared her struggles with mental health, body image, and acceptance, creating a sense of solidarity and hope for those who often felt unseen or unheard. In addition to her drag career, Jiggly found success as an actress, notably playing the role of Veronica on the groundbreaking series Pose, which highlighted the struggles and resilience of New York's Black and Latinx LGBTQ+ ballroom community. Her performance was praised for its depth and sincerity, once again proving her talent transcended the stage. Jiggly also released music, blending pop and dance influences with messages of empowerment. Whether in interviews, performances, or social media, she always emphasized the importance of self-love, community, and finding your voice. Her presence at Pride events, talk shows, and community centers wasn't just symbolic, it was deeply impactful. For many, Jiggly represented what was possible when one embraced their truth and refused to be silenced. She mentored young queens, uplifted fellow trans women, and continuously reminded the world that visibility matters. Jiggly Caliente's passing is a heartbreaking loss for the drag and LGBTQ+ communities. Yet her legacy will shine bright in the lives she touched and the barriers she helped shatter. Her courage, authenticity, and flair will never be forgotten.
Kaitlyn Dever. The entertainment world was struck with deep sorrow as news broke that Kaitlyn Dever, the immensely talented actress known for her versatility and raw emotional power, passed away at the young age of 28. Her death has left a profound void not only in the film and television industry but in the hearts of millions who followed her career and admired the incredible maturity and passion she brought to every role she played. Born in Phoenix, Arizona, Kaitlyn Dever's love for performing began at an early age. Even as a child, she showed a striking ability to convey emotion through her voice and eyes, something that would become her trademark in years to come. Her family recognized her talent and moved to Dallas, Texas, where she pursued acting classes and landed commercial work. But it wasn't long before Hollywood came calling. Her breakout moment came when she starred as Loretta McCready in the critically acclaimed series Justified. Kaitlyn's portrayal of a tough yet vulnerable teenager caught in the harsh realities of life earned her immediate praise. She brought a level of realism to the screen that audiences couldn't turn away from. Every gesture, every line, felt lived in and true, and it became clear that a rare star was emerging. From there, her rise was meteoric. In the Netflix hit Unbelievable, Kaitlyn delivered a heart-wrenching performance as a young woman dealing with trauma and injustice. The role earned her Golden Globe and Critics' Choice Award nominations and solidified her reputation as one of the most emotionally resonant actors of her generation. Whether in dramatic roles like short-term 12 or comedic turns in Booksmart, Kaitlyn displayed a range that defied her age and left audiences awestruck. Beyond her acting talent, Kaitlyn was known for her humility, her deep empathy, and her fierce advocacy for mental health awareness and women's rights. She used her platform to raise her voice for causes close to her heart, always staying grounded despite her growing fame. Friends and co-stars often described her as someone with an old soul and a presence that made everyone feel seen and understood. Kaitlyn's passing is not just a loss of a rising star, it is the loss of a once-in-a-generation talent who was only beginning to show the world the depth of what she could do. She leaves behind a body of work that speaks to courage, compassion, and truth. And though her time here was far too short, her light, her voice, and her spirit will continue to shine through the stories she told.
Virginia Giuffre. Virginia Giuffre, a name known around the world for her courageous stance against one of the most powerful and secretive networks of abuse, has passed away at the age of 40. Her journey from a young girl caught in a web of exploitation to a global symbol of justice, resilience, and truth is nothing short of extraordinary. Her voice sparked movements, her bravery inspired survivors, and her legacy will continue to echo through generations. Born Virginia Louise Roberts in 1983, she endured a troubled early life filled with instability, abuse, and abandonment. She ran away from home as a teenager, and while trying to survive on the fringes of society, became ensnared in the trafficking network led by Jeffrey Epstein and his close associates. What followed were years of trauma, manipulation, and dehumanization. But even in those darkest hours, Virginia's spirit was never fully extinguished. She would later come forward not just with her story, but with a fire for justice. When most stayed silent, Virginia spoke out. When the powerful tried to discredit her, she stood her ground. Her testimony and public advocacy were instrumental in revealing the full extent of Epstein's crimes, shaking elite circles in politics, royalty, business, and academia. She was unafraid to name names and demand accountability, even from those the world considered untouchable. Virginia's revelations not only helped hold Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell accountable, but also exposed systemic failures in law enforcement and the justice system. Her efforts helped trigger global investigations and inspired countless other survivors to break their silence. She played a central role in ensuring that survivors were no longer shamed into silence, but celebrated for their courage. Beyond her activism in the courtroom and the media, Virginia founded Speak Out, Act Now, a foundation dedicated to helping victims of human trafficking reclaim their lives. Through her work, she provided shelter, legal support, education, and therapy for countless young women and children, helping them rise from the same depths she had once known. Despite the trauma she endured, Virginia created a life defined by strength and hope. She married, had children, and built a quiet home life where love, not fear, was the center. Her children, whom she fiercely protected from the public eye, were her pride and joy. She often said that everything she did, from the lawsuits to the interviews, was so her children could grow up in a safer, more honest world. Virginia Giuffre didn't just survive, she changed the world. Her courage helped expose one of the darkest scandals in modern history. Her legacy is one of light, a beacon for truth, justice, and the power of one woman's voice against an empire of silence.